Hey, what's up with it, guys? Hey, welcome back to another video. Now you can see here we are actually not logged in to Classic. We are logged into BFA. Now, before any of you guys that are part of the Classic community click off of this video, just hear me out real quick. I wanted to kind of put this video out. I've been playing back on retail for about a week or two now, probably like a week and a half, kind of just trying to fill some time in between these content droughts in Classic. And I thought this might be helpful as far as what I've been doing, because there's a lot of mechanics in this game that don't exist in Classic, and it was a little overwhelming coming back. That being said, I thought it'd be helpful to kind of make an overview of, you know, me coming back, my thoughts on it, what's important, what to waste time with, what not to waste time with, and kind of just go through it. You know, preface to all this, you can see here we have a lot of characters in retail, and we obviously played a lot of BFA at one point in time, but I've been coming back. I actually boosted a character, so this is to give you an idea. It's been about a week. Like I said, this character was freshly boosted 120. I was like level 113 and didn't want to spend the time getting those last few levels, and in about a week's time I got 450 item level gear. Now, to put it in perspective, that's pretty decent. You know, it's probably equivalent in Classic, something like full Molten Core level gear, tier 1-ish, something like that. Nothing insane, but decent, right? Enough to really play the class, enjoy the class, and get a good feel just for the overall spec, and, you know, be able to shuffle between any of the specs and really test out the game. My thought process in this is that Shadowlands is going to be a lot more similar to BFA than it is to Classic. So for me, I know there's going to be a lot of class changes obviously happening between the expansion. I personally am really looking forward to Shadowlands, and I'm kind of wanting to get the rust off a little bit and get more in the feel for the current version of WoW, so that when Shadowlands does come out, I'm kind of ready to go. I got, you know, keybinds kind of ready. I'm more familiarized, right? Because I've been taking a pretty long break from retail. So you can definitely come back and do it. Like I said, it's been about a week's time. We got some decent gear. You can run Mythic Pluses, LFR, PvP, whatever you want. All of them actually gear you really fast. Some are a little faster than other, but if you only like PvP, just come in and run arenas over and over and over again, and you can get 450 gear very fast. It's not that hard at all, and it's relatively enjoyable. Now, there's two really crappy mechanics that I don't like about retail that I wanted to touch on, and that is the cloak. And if you guys have looked up anything on retail, and if you're new to the game, this isn't something you're familiar with, but this cloak and your neck, which are two very long time intensive aspects to the current version of World of Warcraft. These are both mechanics that I really dislike. They're very time intensive, and they're not super rewarding as far as for the amount of time that you're spending. It doesn't feel amazing when you get these upgrades, and it just takes a lot of time, and it feels very much like you're having to do chores. It's my biggest peeve with retail in general, is the daily quest type aspect. But I wanted to tell you guys, you don't need to do all that stuff, and you can still get these. Like the quest, I think for the cloak took a couple hours. You can do this over however long you want to. The neck, you basically get right off the bat. You get some enchants, or whatever these are called, traits, really quickly and easily, so you don't have to spend a bunch of time farming this up. You can obviously invest the time, and you're going to be more optimized. You're going to perform better than if you don't, but you can still perform very well. I can tell you, I've tanked a bunch of dungeons and have done a ton of PvP, all without having spent hardly any time on any of the corruption system, which is the stuff related to the cloak, or the Azurite traits, which is the stuff related to the neck. So don't let either of these systems, while they are in place and they are somewhat relevant to the game, it shouldn't be a reason that it deters you from playing. The daily quests, the weekly quests, all of the chore aspect stuff is not a part that I really like either at all, but you can definitely play the game on a much more casual level and still make a significant amount of progress in these without even really trying. So that was my big thing I wanted to kind of, hopefully some of you guys maybe take away. Any of you guys that are on the fence or think that these systems are terrible and too daunting to really deal with, in my experience so far this last week coming back, they do exist, they do suck, but it's not make or break, and it shouldn't be the reason that you don't want to come back to retail. Now, with that being said, I'm not doing anything crazy from a competitive level. If you're trying to do mythic rating, if you're trying to push 2800 rating in arenas, stuff like that is obviously going to be more, it's going to be more necessary for you to max those things out. I'm playing at like 1500 arena rating, doing like mythic plus 10s or 8s, and just more like low-key stuff where I'm still having a great time. It's still fun, it's still competitive, and it's just not that big of a time investment. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that is an option when it comes to the current state of WoW in preparation. I'm also really doing this, like I said, in preparation for Shadowlands, and it's a great way to get to test out different classes and specs before Shadowlands actually goes live, because you don't want to make the same mistake I made in Classic and have your third character actually end up being your main and waste all that time on those first two characters that you don't even end up playing in the entirety of the game. So I don't want to make this video too long. That's really all that I needed to kind of like wanted to explain and talk about. Let me know if you guys have any questions on this. I just was hopefully, wanted to get this out there so that, like me in these content droughts, I'm sure we're going to have another one in between phase 5 and phase 6. The same thing's going to happen. You're going to want to have something to help occupy your time and not burn yourself out on Classic. You don't want to, even though Classic's an amazing game, don't get me wrong, I don't want to force myself to play it if there's nothing to do, to the point where I just get bored, and then when there is stuff to do, I'm like burnt out on even playing it. So this is kind of my way of still pivoting and playing the same title that I really love, but not burning myself out with kind of stale content at this point where I really don't have much to do outside of raids. So hopefully this is helpful to you guys. Let me know, like I said, down in the comments if you guys have any questions on this stuff. You can always catch me on streams Thursdays and Sundays and some other random times, so hit a follow down, the link below to the Twitch. Comment, rate, subscribe. I'm really curious to know if any of you guys are intending on playing Shadowlands. What you guys are you guys making class changes? Are you going to completely change roles come Shadowlands? Really curious, because I know I've been super excited about Shadowlands. Every update I hear is really exciting to me, and I haven't heard that many people hype it up that much. So I'm really hyped for it, and I'm wondering if you guys are as well. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.